Hello, good afternoon, and welcome to an update from 3 Feet Rule. So my plan for this video was to just show off the Grenadier division of the Old Guard, but unfortunately I'd put away 3 battalions in a box, and I'd managed, when I put them away, I mixed them all up, so I ended up having to get all my line infantry out as well. And I thought, actually, let's do a full update on my French epic army so far. So what we'll do is we'll go it down on the table in a sec, but I'm quite pleased with the progress that I've made. So I've managed to paint up over the weekend a couple more brigades. So I've got a brigade of Carabiniers. I've also finished off the Old Guard Grenadier division. I've run out of white spray, so was unable to spray up the Young Guard, so that'll have to wait. And I managed to finish up the monster himself, Napoleon Bonaparte, and his stand. I finished off Marshal Ney's stand, and I also did a few other bits and pieces just to finish off some battalions and some brigades. So let's go down to the table and have a closer look. So I managed to finish up another 5 stands of Voltiers over the weekend. So they will be spread out with the line infantry. So that is my Voltiers. We're then going to go over to the Old Guard Grenadiers artillery, which is 3 bases. So they've been on before. There are commanders for each regiment. So this here is the 1st Battalion of the 1st Regiment of Old Guard Grenadiers. Behind that we have the 2nd Battalion of Old Guard Grenadiers. We then have the 2nd Regiment Colonel with the 2nd Regiment 1st Battalion, the 2nd Regiment 2nd Battalion. So that's the 1st Regiment 2 battalions, 2nd Regiment 2 battalions. They were Old Guard Grenadiers completely. There was no middle guard. They all wore bearskins with the brass plate, and they were Napoleon's elite. So then we go down to the 3rd Regiment. Now the 3rd Regiment were middle guard, and there were 2 battalions of the 3rd Regiment. So what I've done is I finished off the 2nd Regiment with the 2nd Battalion, and I also finished off the 3rd and 4th Regiment, which is middle guard. And again, what I've done is I've just painted a mixture of the old line infantry, which I've mixed in with the Grenadier set, and I've given them the middle guard flag or fanion. So let's bring, and this is the 3rd Regiment. Sorry, apologies, the 4th Regiment. They had 1 battalion of middle guard, and these were again a hodgepodge fighting force that Napoleon pulled together just for the Battle of Waterloo. They were a mixed bag of uniforms and were a bit of a ragtag bunch, so I've used line infantry, and I've mixed in a few of the, if I can find them, there we go, a few bearskins there, and I haven't painted the brass plates on those front Grenadiers, so that's not impressed me, so I've missed them, but I've got to base them properly anyway. I've only given them a paint just to before I apply the Vallejo earth mix. So that's that. We've then got a regiment of or battalion of the Marines. We've got the engineers, and then if we start going back across the table, we have a brigade of heavy cavalry. So we're 2 cuirassiers. I have at the moment a regiment of cuirassiers, but my plan is to take that one out, have a unit of 3, and then the other heavy cavalry box, I can make another 2 regiments of cuirassiers. So I'll just bring them forward just to so you can see them. So I'm quite pleased with the way that they've turned out. So that's the cuirassier unit. We then go back to some dragoons. So that's the dragoons. There's 3 stands of those. There are some Chasseurs de Cheval, which is light infantry. There's 4 stands of those. There's Lancers. There's Hussars. And we've got a battery of horse artillery at the back. And if we come forward, we go to the Chasseurs, which is the first regiment, 1st battalion, 2nd battalion, 2nd regiment, 1st battalion, 2nd regiment, 2nd battalion, middle guard, 3rd regiment, 1st battalion, middle guard, 2nd battalion, and we've got the 4th battalion, which is also middle guard. So that's pretty much the old guard and some cavalry units on the table. So if we then dress forward, we have Napoleon with a carabinier, an ADC, and I've stuck on a someone from the line just running along behind, just to give it a little bit of interest. I've used contrast paints for the most of these, which I find really good for this scale. So that's the main general for my army. I've also done Marshal Ney with a old guard commander, and I've also mounted an ADC on that stand also. We have Diolon from 1st Corps, and I've given that stand 2 Voltiers running towards the battlefield. So that's another of my command stands. We then go through to the 1st Regiment of Carabiniers and the 2nd Regiment of Carabiniers. They fought up as a brigade at Waterloo. So I had these on. I did the 1 regiment last week, but now I've got the other one done as well. And I've also painted up the brigade stand, which is the Colonel Carabinier, and I've given him an escort of 2 Carabiniers on the stand also. And then finally we have a division of line infantry, followed up by another division of line infantry, and that is the French army so far. So on the table at the moment I have the 2 regiments of line infantry. I have a regiment of light infantry, some cuirassiers, and I've also got the Belle d'Alliance Sarissa kit that I'm also going to build up, hopefully over Easter. So that's where we're at. Thanks for watching. I've been commenting in and watching videos where I can. I'd like to thank all my new subscribers, and for those people that are leaving comments. There were some stills on at the end, so thanks very much for keeping me focused on this project, and I look forward to catching you all again soon. So bye for now.